Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the last great Coliseum. Here we are at the Mark J. Rebilas Photography Grand National Series, Bristol 175 at the glorious Bristol Motor Speedway. I am James Watson, supposed to be joined by Chris Wright, but in the meantime, joined with Dave Huckleberry and our race control man, William White. We are, of course, at one of the premier and one of the most well-known short tracks out there, and always one of my personal favorites. And this place never fails to put on a show.
Yeah, I think if these guys can go out here and string together some green flag laps and we can have a good time here, I hope we don't spend a whole lot of time pacing. Have some fun tonight.
Absolutely, get us some green flag run, get us some tire wear, and see who the movers and shakers are going to be. So, Dave trying to bring us the point standings.
Of course, I had it pulled up while SDK was changing sessions, so now I got it locked up there. So I'll be right back. We're back again. Second, I'll get it back to the grid for a while. All right, here's our grid for tonight. Starting the lineup, Jeff Ryan will be on the pole, and beside him will be Ryan Borges. David Tooker and Dave Carpenter make up the second row. Third row is Scott Crump and Jay Connor. Fourth row, Gerald Campbell, Gavin Hibbs. JP Phillips, Gavin Higgins. Tyler Fody and Justin Wadsworth round out row 6. Starting 13th, Brandon Wilkinson. Beside him, Jonathan Cutlip. Tommy Ryan in 15th. Jesse Racimus in 16th. Matthew Weeks in 17th. 18th, Chad Frankenfield. 19th, Thomas Coonan. 20th, Trey Eidson. 21, Jaden Racimus. 22, Harrison Talon. 23, Joe Francis. 24, Sean Judson. 25th is Tate Lytle. 26, Paul Mikolajczyk. 27th, Leighton Norgard. 28th is Dustin Dewar. 29th is Blake Reynolds. 30th is Kyle Hanshaw. 31st is Seth Rawls. 32nd is Connor Thompson. 33rd is Michael Hosak. 34th is Casey Hatch. 35th, Mark Rebilas. 36th, Josh Adams. 37th, Kurt Gibson. 38th, Jacob Adams. And Chris Wright did the flaw that really makes me mad, and I'll beat him later, of joining as a driver. Chris will not be starting in the 998 car or 39th, but he will be finishing there. That's the grid, guys.
And speaking of Chris, he is
Welcome
finally
back.
How you doing, Chris?
Yeah, that happened by accident. We had a crash there right as I was trying to get in here, and in the scramble, I joined as a driver instead of a spotter.
I will forgive you because it is a weird night.
Yeah, our stream and Discord also went down as well, so we're having a time. A lot of things outside of our control are not helping us out here, folks at home watching.
Yeah, it's I thought it was going pretty smooth for me until we got in here. I had some troubles with Discord, and now just a complete crash when I was trying to get in here. But I see that the race has waited for me to start tonight from Bristol. It's going to be a great race. What do you guys think? Over, under, 8 cautions. What are we thinking?
Yes.
Over. He's going the over. I'll take the over on 8. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll take that over too. I think William White is going to be busy tonight. But Bristol's one of those places that sometimes can surprise us, and we end up with a bunch of green flag laps. And, if we even get into that area of possibly a green flag stop.
Here's hoping.
A little housekeeping to work out. Jeff Ryan, who was on the pole, then got an EOL for things in past races, but it was a mistake on Chad's part, so now he's trying to gain his pole spot.
So as we get this one to go, did you guys already do picks to win? If not, what are your guys' picks to win this thing?
I think I'll go ahead and go with Chalk and go with Ryan. You know, being the pole sitter and putting up such a good lap, I think he's gonna have a great opportunity to hold on to it.
Give me Matthew Weeks.
Well, you guys can have those two. I'm going to take Scott Crump. The pace car is off. Green is out. We are racing. Not a great start there for the 3. I believe it looked like Ryan might have had to check up there getting down into 1. Oh, and Ryan's wrecking off of turn 1.
Well.
Oh, and these cars are running across the apron, running into each other. Mark's spinning in the back. I'll tell you what, I don't think anybody really hit anything there to get significant damage. Absolutely lucky that we got. I think the car with the most damage is probably the 3 car, who overcorrected and hit the outside wall. So what do you say there, James? It took them about 6 or 7 seconds to go from 0 to 0 there.
Yep. That tracks.
That's very unfortunate. I don't think he got the start he wanted. I believe that the outside pole sitter, I believe Ryan had to check up there a little bit. And then the 3 was a little bit panicky from that, tried to get up off the 2, got sideways, overcorrected into the wall, and the rest was kind of history there with guys running into each other, checking up in the back. But I feel like for the most part, everybody did a really good job to get away from that without a whole lot of damage. I mean, we saw Mark spin, but Mark's not even coming down pit road. I see the 56 on pit road. I'm not sure he even had any damage. He just might be kind of hanging out at the back. I think the 56 is just hanging out. So unfortunately, Mark got some good pictures there of that checkup and those spins down there.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So it's one of those things that, I mean, Bristol, sometimes things happen fast. I kind of gave us the kiss of death probably when I said, you know, sometimes we have these races at Bristol that go green and we get into that area where we even see some guys think about pitting, and we're not going to get to that area right now.
Nope.
Or not just yet, anyway. So David Tooker came away with the lead. The 42 once again on the outside. So the pace car will make this a left-hand turn, putting the field in control of David Tooker. Green is out. Big launch that time for the pole sitter. Not such a great launch there for Gerald Campbell. Not ready was Gerald. They head down here to turn number 3, looking 3 wide there. 70. Oh, and the 71's around right where that 3 wide was.
Oh.
David Carpenter with a great qualifying run, and it is all for naught. That over-under of 7 or 8 or whatever I said there at the start, well on track to hit that over.
Yeah, it's Bristol, baby. That's why they call it the last great Coloseum, because it usually ends in a lot of bloodshed.
8 laps, 2 cautions? I don't want to do that math.
That math is not great. And I believe that was just a 3 wide maneuver that just was, I don't think, ever going to work. We saw, I believe it was the 34. Tried to stick it in the middle of 3, realized it wasn't going to be there. He tried to get backed out, but by the time he tried to get backed out, it's already too far up off the corner. Just churns him.
Yeah, and you see this all the time at Bristol. You know, it's so tight. There's such little room, and because of all the changing in banking, especially as you're coming out of the corner, you never quite can figure out where exactly the car is going to end up. And when you think you're given enough room, all of a sudden you're all up in the other car's business and shooting them to the inside wall.
Yeah, and Tooker's out here with control, hoping to keep control of this race is David Tooker. But this has quickly turned into a race of, are they even going to pit? Like, we talk about getting to lap 50 or 60, and we're still in that same scenario. I don't know that we're going to see these guys hit pit road.
I love David Tooker. Absolutely bump drafting the pace car here. Still likely be the littlest amount of contact we'll see for the rest of this race.
But here it is, once again, 1 to go. You guys think Gerald Campbell is going to be a little bit more prepared for the start this time?
Hopefully? Maybe? No clue.
You know who wants him to more than even the guy in that 31 car does is Gavin Hibbs. Gavin's like, hey, man, I want you to get a good restart more than you want you to get a good restart. Here they come, that pace car once again. It's going to turn left. Green is out. Much better job there for Gerald Campbell. They head down for turn number 1. He might even hang on the outside of Crump's right rear here off of turn 2. He will. He does.
Oh, but Scott's sliding up. And he will. It's a good move by Crump. You know, Scott Crump, of course, is a very established and accomplished short track driver. So, you know, these weeks he has to have circled on the schedule because this is going to be an area where he's going to be an absolute contender.
Oh, Justin Wadsworth.
Big contact. Wadsworth, right. Oh, and they're still spinning. Bunch of letters. Oh, bunch of contact.
I think Josh Adams is down there. 71's involved again. The 30's down there. The 88, the 14. Absolutely huge accident. I believe Chad Frankenfield is even talking about some damage.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it looked like there was some net code there with Wadsworth and Wilkinson, and that's what might have put the 6 around. Because, like, you see, there's some space, and like how the rear of the 6 goes around, it's so weird and unnatural. Yeah, you can see netcode right there, and then look how like it straightens out, but it just looks so weird.
I'm going to tell you, I think there was a little bit of netcode there, but I don't think that was a smart move for the 26 to be making on that.
And exactly, and they would have made contact, but it wouldn't have resulted in the rear of the 6 car just being completely kicked out from under him. It would have been a big moment for Justin for sure, but someone of Justin's caliber, he would have been able to save it fairly easily, and it wouldn't have resulted in a massive track blocker like this. Whoa!
Yeah, and
oh!
I'm going to tell you, the 3 came in there, and it does not look like he did near enough to slow down.
Yeah.
Like, if you're the 3 car, you got to do a better job slowing down than what he just did. Like, you see the wreck, he lifts, and then he just tries to drive through it without slowing down. Like, you're not going to gain anything. All you're going to do is hurt yourself and other people. Look at this. The caution's out. What are we doing? What are we doing at this point?
Oh. Yeah, just absolute. Yeah. Just an absolute yeet of Casey Hatch.
Yeah, there's no reason the last car in line should get to the wreck with that much speed and drive through cars like that.
Yeah, because Casey had the wreck missed, and now that is probably significant engine damage when Casey did the right thing. So that's just disappointing to see.
But yeah, I mean, like you said, there was a little bit of net code there, but the move was not that was not a very smart move to make.
On lap 18, when we've only done three, like one or two of those under green.
Yeah. Well, the pace car once again is going to relinquish the lead to David Tooker. We might have should have picked the pace car to win the race as the green comes out once again. This time Gerald's way further up there on Scott Crump. Scott slides up there in the middle of the corner again, but Gerald, I think, is going to win that battle this time. Front four single file. First battle is the 95 and the 9. 9s are wild there in that battle as they run up on the 90 machine.
Yeah, I see Jay trying to make that high line work, and it's gonna work. You see that on the sim, and especially in real life, that outside lane is so dominant when it comes to speed and making passes. You see Gerald Campbell just waltz right by Ryan Borges because of that. But the flip side in the sim, unlike real life, is that running up by the wall just kills your tires. So if we
I see them cording from here.
yeah. So if obviously, tire wear at this moment isn't something that everyone has had to worry about, but if some stretch of the imagination and we do get a long green flag run, that is something you're going to have to worry about. You will be killing your tires. So what I always do when I run Bristol is, I bank on the long run and just, parking down on the inside lane, letting everyone go by, put around for most of the run, and then I gun it and start pushing. And by then, the passes are a lot easier to make because even though they got that momentum, their tires are so used up that they can't do with any of that speed and have to let off so much just to keep it out of the wall. So you can just waltz right by, and suddenly passes that would have taken you like 20 laps to do, you're doing it in half a lap. And you're just able to drive all the way up through towards the front for the most part, at any rate.
Yeah, but you know what's good for Gerald about doing that is there's guys that are moving up to defend, there's guys that are moving up to pass. It's not like he's the only one. You got the 90 moving up, you got the 9 moving up. I've seen a few other guys. The 19 has moved up to block him a few times. So if you can drag other people with you, it's kind of going to be, equal.
Absolutely, but you still are going to have other guys that are going to focus on the tire conservation and running the inside. And while the majority are going to be up there at the top, there still is going to be a good chunk that focus on the tire save, and those guys are going to be tough to hold off in the next 50 laps or so, if we can hold on to this green flag run long enough.
The 42 is starting to roll that bottom pretty good. He still can't quite get the forward drive up off the corner, but he is beating the 90 through the middle of that corner. And that is the battle for third right now. Every lap it's getting a little bit better. The bottom's getting a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better.
Yeah, like you said, Ryan is doing a great job just holding even with that 90 car. Scott isn't really able to take all that momentum from the top side and clear Borges. Ryan is doing a great job just rolling that center, taking that the shorter line around and just able to hold on. Although I say that, and Scott finally clears, and now Gavin Hibbs also clears him as well. So
I think what happened there is when you're running the bottom, right? when you're running the top, you're leaning on. Oh, we're 3 wide here. Fody's going to try to
Oh
squeeze
my
underneath him.
lord!
It's really easy to get loose down there because it's so tight in the middle. You got so much wheel into it coming off the corner, it'll snap sideways. And you got to be very careful getting into the corner because if you get into the corner a little too deep, you know, a lot of these guys will run a lot of rear brake in the car, and it's real easy to turn the car around. And so Ryan's kind of got a moment here to himself now. He can kind of think about what happened and go back to work on trying not to let it happen again.
Yeah, looks like he's running the middle lane, trying to get some tire save, but some momentum, but that's not really going to help either as you see Fody trying to look to the inside of that 42 car. But now he gets to be the one dictating and making Fody try to pull off that move on the inside.
Yeah, and he's got the 34 lined up behind him on the bottom, but most of these front guys, I mean, you see the front, Tooker's on the bottom, second, third, fourth. Oh, 42's going to drop to the bottom.
Oh.
Big corner. That's a nice corner.
See, meanwhile, the 88 just kind of rolling the apron. I think the 88 got damaged from one of the incidents, and Gibbs, maybe?
Yeah, he was in the big wreck over there, I believe. They're also coming up on Kyle Hanshaw here, getting ready to lap him. And then in front of him, they're going to start getting into traffic. This is going to be the last real burst of clean air these guys are going to have unless we get another reset here. There's a lot of traffic out in front of this leader.
Yeah, and that's gonna be what gives us our chance for. Oh, just as I said that.
Oh, Chad Frankenfield's tore up. The 26 is tore up. Fody is tore up. The 42 is tore up.
Oh,
Why are we still driving into the wreck? Josh Adams, Leighton Norgard, these guys, what are they doing? You have got to slow down.
I just, because like you saw all those cars continue to plow in, and you also saw board just start to move before everyone stopped and it's cleaned up, and I think that also kind of aided with this thing turning into a further dumpster fire.
I don't know. I'd like to see the view from Josh Adams right there. I'm good friends with Josh, and I feel like he's smarter than what we just saw right there.
Yeah,
the pace car's already coming out right there off a turn. Like, you saw the pace car coming out in front of him. Just not smart. I don't know what Josh is thinking here.
Yeah.
Slow down. The caution's out. There's the pace car. You see the pace car. Like, I get these guys are starting to roll and they shouldn't, but at the same time, you got to be slowing down. So I don't understand. Like, these guys at the wreck do not need to be rolling, but Josh Adams, Leighton Norgard, they need to be doing a better job getting checked up right there too.
Yeah, multiple examples of some smooth brain behavior and bruh. He sure did.
I mean, in my opinion, the 42 should get a tally. For anybody who moved in the wreck should get a tally. I think the 22 should get a tally. The 12 gets a tally. Whoever caused if I was racing, if I had William White's job right now, about a quarter of this field would be getting tallies right now.
You get a tally. You get a tally. Everybody gets a tally.
Like, there is no excuse for what we just saw there out of the people who moved and out of the people who didn't slow down. And
absolutely.
I mean, I don't even.
We are the
and here we go with the
leagues. Show it, guys. And
was there netcode with that lap car there to start that wreck?
Yeah, it looks like it.
And that's actually what I was literally about to say when the incident started, was the lap cars is going to be what puts us back under caution, because there's going to be some sort of issue trying to get around the lap traffic that's going to cause calamity. And before I even had an opportunity to finish my sentence, the calamity happens.
So just to reset, as we're getting ready to go green, front row stayed out, new tires, third on back.
Oh no.
Green is out. And those tires, they look old on those guys.
Yeah, not a great jump for Adams, but Seth is holding on fairly decently for the most part.
I don't know. I think these guys are being pretty cautious right there.
Seth came in on lap 16.
Yeah,
Chooker's through.
Yeah, Tooker clears easy. Imagine it'll be saying, yep, Crump clears easy. Imagine the same for Higgins.
You got Chad coming through.
Yeah, it's like you got that damage fixed.
You got Gerald coming through right behind him. Now they've got these guys lined up nose to tail and not kind of offset. I think we're going to see him give up about a car a corner. Ooh, Seth gets real loose there. Nearly. That could have been bad with the neck cover we've seen tonight.
Yeah.
Kind of surprised it didn't get bad.
So you see Wilkinson and Adams side by side, shift teammates. Brandon out trying to get by his other shift teammate, his team owner, in fact.
Yeah, and you got a bunch of guys coming through, and the field's really strung out back here. And I saw what you saw there, the 92 and the 5.
Mm-hmm.
And they had some contact, but if you look up behind these guys, I mean, we've got about, I don't know, 15 clean cars or so. That's all we've got. Like, behind these guys are guys struggling. We've got about 15.
Wow, I'm surprised that's that many.
I think everybody from the 34 on back is, they've got some kind of damage that they're just trying to survive and get through.
See Blake Reynolds in a little bit of a different look tonight. Usually we're used to him in the Racecraft red and black, but it's like rolling with another sponsor tonight. Looks good.
And you see the 14 down there on the apron just creeping. They're coming around the 88. This all of a sudden looks like a Bristol race at lap 450 out of 500. Most of the field is damaged. Some of them are just crawling around the racetrack.
A whole lot of people just doing their best out there right now.
Yeah, a whole lot of frustration out there too. And I'm going to tell you what doesn't look good for these guys that stayed out on road tires is the fact that there's so few really good cars left. And that's something that you always kind of got to think about when you make a play like this, is how many cars are on the racetrack. And I just feel like there's not enough like your shot out of caution is greatly reduced with what we're seeing right now. I'm not saying it won't happen because there's a speed discrepancy between a lot of these cars, but the odds are dwindling. And I did just hear a report. Did you hear what was on the radio there, James?
Sure did, and that is very fascinating. So looks like
he did not fix that damage.
He did not, no. So yeah, everyone be prepared, I guess.
Chad said the temps are pegged, boys. He said the nose damage has hurt the car and he is overheating out here. It doesn't look terrible. I mean, compared to some of the other guys, it doesn't look that bad at all. They're going around the slow 42, who has quite a bit of damage. I mean, a lot, and with all these wrecked cars, everybody running different speeds. It almost looks like an ARCA race out here. I mean, we got Tooker. Your leaders are going to be in traffic all race long with this situation. Here's the 6. He's got the 99 right in front of him. Right in front of the 99 is another car. In front of it, like, it's just going to be all night long.
Yeah, Justin Wadsworth having over the weekend had a weekend to remember with getting at the Sim Gaming Expo with getting the podium and the NASA Rallycross invitational race and winning the feature for the Elite Xfinity race. But yeah, all that momentum you got from the weekend is gone with having to put around that wrecked 6 car just trying to survive.
Yeah, and right out in front of him is Tyler Fody, who is trying to keep from going 2 laps down. Like, you have a path out at 1 lap down, but if he gets lapped a second time right here, it's really hard to get back from that when you're not going to ever be able to race for the lucky dog really at 2 down. And Tooker is probably a lap away from passing him. Maybe not even. Yeah, they're all working around that 40 machine. Tell you what, it's a logjam. Tooker's going to shoot the middle.
Oh, man.
Oh!
Bodie in the wall. Tooker putting Fody a lap down. How often do you get to say Tyler Fody going a lap down?
Well, he's already a lap. Now he's 2 laps down. That's putting him at 2nd lap down.
I know. It's Bristol, baby.
Yeah, and he's lapped all the way up. Mark right now, 24th is the lucky dog, but Dave Carpenter's right in front of him. So if there's not a caution here pretty soon, Carpenter will become the lucky dog. Chad and Cutlip are racing pretty tight back here in the pack as well. No give out of Chad Frankenfield right now. Nearly make contact with John Cutlip back there. For a guy who said he was just rolling overs because he's overheating, he sure did race the far out of Cutlip back there.
No give out of Chad Frankenfield, the Elite Racing League's motto.
Tell you what, this race for the lead in this traffic too, they lapped the 88 now, that 88's picked up the pace a good bit. I mean, he's still not moving like the leaders, but we've seen him crawling on the apron. Scott Crump trying to make some kind of move here on the 19 machine. You got the 20 right there behind him. Gerald Campbell they are all within a second of the lead. They're moving up the racetrack. Trying to go by that 46.
But the rear of that car all sorts of caved in.
46 drops down the apron. Oh, he misses the apron. He's straddling the apron. And here's the battle for the lead with a couple lap cars out in front of him. Looks like Scott's got to give way to get back in line as he goes around the 24.
Just about to only have the top 20 on the lead lap. But Tooker can't focus on that. He's got all kinds of stuff he needs to worry about in his mirror. Crump and Higgins are absolutely heating up the rear of that 19 car.
Yeah, and the 20's right there. The 31's closing in. I am very, you know what, Gerald, I don't know if you guys talked about him when I had my little crash there, but Gerald Campbell, is a guy that used to be really good at the short tracks. I remember a lot of North Wilkesboro races with Gerald and some races around here in Martinsville where he was really good, and he kind of fell off. And, it's nice. I feel like it's a lot more fun in the league when Gerald's running up front and and whatnot. So he's a good guy too. He and I have had our run-ins, but Gerald's actually a really good guy, and most of these guys are. Like on the track, we've all butted heads with each other a time or two. But you talk to somebody outside of this stuff, and it's all nice people.
Absolutely.
Here
contact.
Oh, a little bit of a hip check from the 90. Not a whole lot, but it's enough to get the pass completed. Now Higgins gonna clear Tooker for the moment, and he'll jump up. Yeah, David Tooker from first to third in one lap.
I mean, we got our front 5 within just a few car lengths here. I don't know if Tooker ran his stuff off or what. I mean, and then just to give people an update, Seth Rawls is right in front of these guys. Brandon Wilkinson has actually done a pretty decent job holding on his old tires. But Seth is maybe a straightaway in front of these guys. And he stayed out and restarted as the leader that last restart. So staying out, not the call for them. Chad Frankenfield's really fallen off the pace. We documented the issues he's having tonight with his overheating issue, but it looks like he is purposely slowing down some more, trying to just make it live to the next pit stop. They go around this 34.
Ooh, and Phillips gets the wall.
And that leaves us with just 19 cars on the lead lap here.
That too is also a Bristol baby with a lot of cars going down a lap.
Yeah, the chaos did not wait for us tonight. Like, it just right from the drop. I'm going to tell you what, there's a pack of cars right in front of the leaders here. And they are stacking up hard. We're talking about the 42, the 12, the 77. I believe that's the 77. The 42 has all of a sudden really fell off the pace right here.
I'm pretty sure he's holding that steering wheel upside down after his earlier accident.
And we finally have William White. He finally had time to talk to us. William, it's
I know.
been a pretty busy night for you already, huh?
It definitely has. I've had to issue a few tallies. I've spent about 15, 20 laps looking at Josh and Leighton and all those guys that came piling in. That was a nightmare, a bit of a head scratcher. Obviously had like 3 cautions back to back to back right at the start. That it's almost like a backlog of incidents to be looking at. But yeah, it's nice to finally have some time to myself, because I mean, Bristol on a long green run is...
Are you nervous right now looking at what's going on in front of this leader right now with all these guys, different laps down, running different speeds, and I feel like you might be getting ready to get some work.
Oh, Lord.
It's nervy. I mean, we've seen Tooker have a couple run-ins with Tyler.
Oh, we're 3 wide. We're 3 wide.
They're still 3 wide right in front of him now.
Oh.
Oh,
going
going
around.
around.
There's one going around. Oh,
There we
Ryan
go.
saved it. Lord have mercy. A pack
They're
of
still
cars
3
at-
wide.
A pack of cars at Bristol is called a nope.
Oh,
Man, you know who has really fallen off here, and it's kind of a surprise that he's cooked his tires, is David Tooker. I
Yeah,
mean, he has
he's
fallen off completely.
Yeah, he's in the middle of all this chaos, just trying to survive and keep this 19 car clean, hoping that when we get that caution, and at the rate where this is going, it's going to be a when that he's not involved and he can get those new tires and get back into the lead battle. But yeah, right now he is dropping like a rock, and he's got Gerald just all over him now. You talked about Gerald and his short track ability. He's showing it. He's about to get that 31 car up into the top 3.
And then while that's going on, Tyler Fody just got lapped for a 3rd time tonight.
That's a brand new sentence.
And now here's Jonathan Cutlip. He's caught both of these guys trying to pass both of them, and they're going to go 3 wide. Cutlip, Gerald,
Lord
Leighton.
have mercy.
And you know, these lappers, it's not like they don't have something to race for too. They're all trying to race for the lucky dog. I guess the Leighton's the second. So see, if you're multiple laps down, it's a lot easier to give way. But if these guys are 1 lap down right here, it would be really hard for them to make the decision to just lift, because you're racing for the lucky dog. You got something to race for right there.
Yeah, everyone 2 laps down and on, they're just doing their best. They're just trying to survive, get out of the way, be clean and predictable, but it's so hard to do that when nothing about this track and racing here is predictable.
And now Jacob Adams just got lapped. That leaves us 15 lead lap cars. And we didn't get to document it because everything that was going on, but the 25 car, our leader on the last restart who chose to stay out, is now lapped. And he's like the 4th or 5th car 1 lap down. So that call, chalk that up to not a good call.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about. It started off better than what I was expecting, but then, yeah, the expected outcome happened. But you know, it's not a bad call per se with how many cautions that we got, because it's hard to predict when the faucet's going to get shut off when it comes to incidents. Well, speaking of incidents, look at Gerald Campbell. Oh, there it is, chaos. We got that caution.
I believe it was Chad Frankenfield, somehow, some way.
Yeah.
I lived in peace for about 30
Jesse.
laps. Now I'm off again.
Oh, Jesse. So,
that didn't help Chad's nose damage, I guarantee it.
No. He, Chad, a bit unhappy, but,
You know what I don't understand about this? And I'm not saying the wreck was Chad's fault. But Chad let everybody know about his nose damage and about trying to make it live and about overheating. But it's like he forgets about that when he starts racing around other guys and he has no give in there. There's no give in his vocabulary.
and like Chad's getting mad at Jesse because Chad thinks Jesse cleared himself, but, look at that and tell me how that's Jesse's fault. When he's in the middle of the track and Chad has about a full car width to the car on his outside, but yet Chad is still running it as low as he is. You know, I have a hard time kind of faulting the 70 for that because, you know, Jesse really can't keep it all that much lower. He's like on the inside third of the track coming off of the corner. So
Chad's telling Jesse that he made contact with him while he was making contact with it. It wasn't near
in fact, you could fit basically a whole nother car in between the 15 and the 3. So yeah, I kind of don't think Jesse really did anything wrong in that in this one.
I would have to agree. You know, they were pretty far down. Like Chad made that maneuver, got right down against the 70, and left a lot of room there. So I don't know. It's tough to say. I think a lot of these guys are wanting a caution. Jacob Adams did just get the lucky dog, and I think the 77 is going to try to stay out and take a wave. I believe David Carpenter is also taking a wave. Justin Wadsworth is getting back to 1 lap down. A lot of these guys taking the wave. This is pretty old tires, boys. This is going to be... They're hoping if there's not a caution within 10 laps, those guys are going to be getting lapped again, and it's going to be all for naught.
Yeah.
Well, the field is in the hands of Scott Crump, who has chosen the top. Green is out. Great start for these guys right up at the front.
Yeah, good jump for Crump. Whoa, big sideways for Cutlet off of 2.
Now here comes the 20 trying to make this pass. Probably not going to see a whole lot of passing this early once they get single file. It'll take us 15 or 20 laps to get back in that spot where both lanes are kind of equal depending on how you saved your tires. Oh, big wreck. Dustin Dewar on the front stretch. The 77, the 99, but this is... Oh, the 77's down here. The 99, they're wrecking down here in the middle of the corner.
Well, Paul got that caution he needed.
Not real sure what happened there. But here's what I do know. We have not had a commercial break tonight. So we are going to go ahead and take one and get that out of the way and come back and bring you guys the last, 60, 65 to go. We're already down towards the end. So stick with us. We'll be back on the other side of the break.
Now let's hear about Blue Egg Marketing. Rev up your business with Blue Egg, your marketing pick. Turbocharge your lead generation with experienced drivers that can navigate the competitive track to connecting with your customers. With Blue Egg, you're always in the pole position, leading your brand toward victory lane. Don't spin your wheels, accelerate success with Blue Egg, fueling small businesses to win big.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And welcome back to Bristol, where we have found the chaos. Or it has found us. I don't know which it is as we get one to go with Scott Crump out front. I'll tell you what, my race pick's looking pretty good, guys. How's y'all's?
P7?
I don't want to talk about it.
I think somebody picked that 3 car, right? That his race pretty much ended on like 7 seconds.
It's the Watson curse. What can I say?
So can he blame you, get reimbursed for the car that he destroyed?
Blame me, yes. Reimbursed, no.
Well,
the
here
car
we go.
repaint.
We've got down to these final few laps. Scott Crump out here as the leader picks the bottom. Great jump for the bottom. Chad Frankenfield got the lucky dog right there, I believe. He's the last car on the lead lap. Here comes the 20. Big move looking underneath. Here comes the 86.
Yeah,
And we were about to say the same thing, James. We both saw it. Like, we haven't talked about it too much, and here he is going to take third.
Yeah, I think Gavin noticed it right when we were talking about it, because now he's taking that outside, just hanging behind Crump. Of course, now that I say that, he dives to the inside, trying to see if he can get by the 90. Whoa, there was almost contact off of turn 2.
I tell you what, is the 86 looking to go 3 wide somewhere? Because we've seen a good bit of that tonight.
He absolutely is. You can tell the body language of that car. He's trying to position it. He's trying to wait for that hole to open up just enough so he can try to slide the nose of that 86 car in.
Higgins really running Crump hard here in the corner, really diving it in. He's pretty good at this track, and he knows how to run you hard. He gave me a hard time in the Arca Series a couple seasons back here at Bristol, and he knows how to use the bumper, knows how to dive it in low, knows how to hang on your left rear. So Crump's got to be wary of Higgins. He's very capable around here.
Yeah, and as that driver like Crump, you're also probably ready for him to try to do a slide job. So you're probably braking way late. You're driving into the corner hard. You're thinking, I'm not going to let him make this easy. Oh, wrecking a late Norgard. The 3 is wrecked again. They're both back going straight already.
Watson curse.
Well, they're 2 wide, and they're like the last 2 cars in line here. Oh, the 3 just comes down and gets him. I think that would make more sense to me if that 12 had a 5 on it, was sponsored by Kellogg's. I'm not sure I can explain what happened there. 3 just decided he needed to go left just a little bit.
He didn't want to wreck him. He just wanted to rattle his cage.
Yeah, I guess. I don't. Cage rattled. Do we know how many cautions we've had tonight? We've hit the over already, right? We're
On
well
7.
over.
7
Oh, we
cautions.
haven't hit the over yet. Matthew Weeks. Lonely feeling on pit road. You know what? Those guys that are still like 2 and 3 and 4 laps down are thinking right now?
End this race quickly, please.
They're thinking we should have stayed out and took a wave on the first caution when everybody pitted.
Yeah.
After that long run. Not the first caution in the race, but after that long run, because that's really worked out for those guys. Meanwhile, these guys are still trapped 3 and 4 laps in. We are putting the 24 is going back on the lead lap here. Matthew Weeks is still sitting in his pit box. Here he comes. So he must have wanted to fix a little bit of damage. Chad Frankenfield, we know that car's got damage. He did not pit here. He said, it's good. 4 tires are still rolling. The engine's still running. We're good. That's what Chad said. William White, I see is back with. Oh, nope. I was about to say he's back with us, but then his race control duty stepped up. Weeks trying to carve through these lappers. Well, we're going to go green here again. The 90 being out front. Picking the top. We've seen him pick the bottom. We've seen him pick the top. Green flag. Great jump. $20 with a really good 1 and 2, though, to get back underneath him. Stay beside him down here into 3. Gerald Campbell right here trying to figure out how he's going to move forward.
Yeah, he's doing a good job holding on to that outside as Blake is sending it on the inside. Hanging to the inside of the 20 pretty well. Oh, I think Higgins might have made a little bit of wall contact.
I'll tell you what, that 86 is also looking there at the 90. He's getting further and further up there every corner, and we've talked about how he is going to be really tight through the middle of the corner, and then it's going to really snap loose on exit.
I think Higgins is really starting to get onto the back end of that 90 car now. You see going into the corner, he's right on the bumper, probably 0xing him, getting in there when he gets a good exit like now. Again, right on the bumper, almost into the wall, just trying to unsettle the 90, maybe get him loose. Can't really move him out the way, you're already on the top lane, trying to unsettle him, probably.
Oh, wrecking in the back,
in his head.
the 92's
Oh,
around,
yep.
The 11's involved, the 15's involved. Not sure how bad the damage is on the 11 and the 15, but they both got a piece of this accident. So they're wrecking up there. There's where Weeks gets a piece of it. And then here comes Chad. Man, Chad got pretty lucky right there.
He sure did.
'92 did not get lucky. When you're backwards looking at the field, it's not a good thing. Looks like he's just going to get loose, too. Gets sideways, loses it. Mark does a great job. Not a whole lot Matthew can do. He just played that strategy to get fresh tires, and what did he get? His reward for the fresh tires is picking up a little bit of nose damage. We do have a few more pitters here. Nobody right at the front. So Scott Crump, I believe, is going to get credit for the most laps led.
I thought
we
that was
talked-
the pace car.
I mean, if they counted the pace car laps, I think it would be. But I think Scott's going to get it. Gavin's right there. The 86 is right there. But a couple guys I want to talk about. Jacob Adams, we saw him get the lucky dog earlier. He's cracked the top 10. We saw Michael get to the lucky dog there earlier. He's up to 13th, which I know there's only 19 guys on the lead lap. But through it all, Mark is also back on the lead lap out here. He's 18th. Trey Eidson's out there in 19th. Of course, Trey was the last caution, so he did lose a lap here. We are getting one to go. David Carpenter, we've seen him in a few wrecks tonight. He's still on the lead lap, and right now being on the lead lap means you got a chance to gain a lot of spots because we are more than likely going to see a lot more chaos. Well, here's the field once again in the control of the 90, picking the top this time. Green flag once again.
Going to be a big advantage for Gerald if he can stay.
I mean, look at that
close
20.
to Crump.
That 20 stayed about even right there with the 90.
Yeah, but even, you know as well as I do, even doesn't mean anything in this position. Whoa, Gavin got real close to the wall again.
I think that 86 is trying to creep up there into third, but I just don't think he's going to be clear of Gerald enough. It would take a pretty risky maneuver to slide right up in front of Gerald to get up in that line like he needs to do. And as long as the 20's trapped on the top. Oh, the 20's going to try to get to the right rear Crump.
Whoa!
And that's that is what the 86 needs. If the 86 can get the 20 and the 90 kind of messing up each other, he can slide right through on the bottom real easy in one corner.
Yeah, but that's such a risky maneuver for him.
And there it is. This 86 is going to do the slider.
Ooh. He got
Cutlet puts Campbell in the wall. That was contact from Cutlet. The 90 is going to slide the 86 back. The 86
he's going around. Oh, he saved it. How in the world did he do that?
And here comes Cutlet. Cutlet looking for the lead. And Gerald is not happy with Cutlet.
He's not.
Cutlet gets into the side of the 90 there.
Yeah.
Moves him a little bit.
And he will take the lead because of that. Oh, boy.
And Chad Frankenfield's middle three back here. Put himself middle three. Trying to move forward.
Oh, dear. Oh, no. Oh,
This is the perfect recipe
God.
for a wreck right here.
Sure is.
And
And there
Yeah,
it is.
there it is.
Gerald's around. His great run is over. Chad Marks down there. David Carpenter. Jacob Adams. We've got a huge wreck here. Like, it all broke out right here real big. And Gerald is not happy right now. I don't think with anybody. Gerald ran top four all night long. Gets moved up the track in a corner by Cutlet, hits the wall, loses his track position, and then he finds himself three wide with Chad Frankenfield. They get together underneath him, get up into Gerald. And then they just get stuck. And that's going to spin Gerald. Now Chad's going to get hit here As he's trying to go around, Gerald is going to tag him in the left rear. There comes Mark. There comes David Carpenter. This is where they pick up their damage. This is where I believe Jacob Adams is going to be involved in this wreck, or just miss it. Maybe just miss it. But we talked about Mark having a great night, Carpenter having a great night, just surviving and hoping, maybe getting a little chaos. Well, unfortunately, the survival part has ended.
Yeah.
And I believe we are looking back here at the contact between the 5 and the 31.
Net code.
Oh, there was
yep.
netcode, but that was pretty close too. I feel like that's the kind of netcode where you were probably going to make contact even without the netcode.
But it's like, at least on that initial view, it really doesn't look like Cutlip slides up all that much. Like, it looks like Gerald...
About a full lane or so. He slides up about 3/4 to a full lane.
Yeah, but Gerald's also coming down too, so, I mean, if anything, you just call that a racing deal since they're both moving in on each other. But it doesn't quite warrant the reaction from Gerald that we got when it.
Yeah, but you got to put yourself in Gerald's seat there. Like, that guy just washed up into it. Gerald's had a great run. And, he's frustrated, He hasn't got... He's still out here. So he hasn't even looked at the replay to see what happened. He just knows he got hit. He doesn't know that there was a little bit of netcode, albeit I think they were going to make contact anyway. He doesn't know you know what I mean? He just knows I ran no worse than 4th or 5th all night, and now it's over. Like, that's all he knows. But the 5's got control. He also made a little contact with the 90. Green flag is out. We all of a sudden are looking at about 20 to go. The 86 is through to second. All these short runs have brought David Tooker back up here into having a shot at this. Chad Frankenfield bounces off the wall and then into the 24 here. And now Chad's going to go around.
He's going around.
Gerald's in it again. Oh, the 9 blasts the 15. Oh, my. He gets loose here, hits the 24. They get down into the corner. He's going to spin. Once again, Gerald involved. 26 misses. The 9 comes in. Now, the 9 looks way worse than it actually is. If we watch the 9, I believe the 9 gets hit from the rear when the checkup starts. Yeah, see, there's some contact with Mark there. So they start wrecking. He sees it. He checks up. And now he gets hit, and he's along for the ride. Unfortunately, the pinball effect just absolutely destroys the 15.
Got shipped.
Oh yeah, he got shipped hard. And that just blasts the 15. I don't know. I got to think that Chad's night might be over. Scott Crump's coming to pit road here, boys.
Interesting.
We're going to be looking at about 15 to go here, and he is coming to pit road. That is a lonely, lonely feeling. I just don't know. I don't know about that.
Yeah, he's gonna need a lot of luck because there's still too many cars on the lead lap still right now. He's gonna have to make a lot of passes, so he's gonna need a big wreck and to miss it for him to have.
Yeah, that was my bigger concern, was not about the tires or how he has to pass. Like, I feel like you could, in 15 laps, you can make a lot of passes. But my bigger concern is we have seen just absolute chaos here in the last 20 laps. And I feel like you're just shaking that magic 8 ball and hoping that it comes out good for you.
Yeah.
Let's see where he's going to come around and line up right now. Where is he going to get the restart? It looks like maybe 13th, maybe 12th. 14th. All right, so if he can get a good restart, if he can pick off 4 cars real fast and in a hurry, if you can get yourself into the top 10, top 8 would really be ideal. If you can get yourself in the top 8 and catch another caution, restart from the first 4 rows, that's what you want. But here the pace car is off. The 5's on the bottom. Green flag is out. Five gets away. '86 is going to get through to second. 86 is going to be looking for the lead here. Here comes Gavin Hibbs. Haven't talked about him too much tonight.
199, 1, 2, 3.
Here comes Higgins. Took her, the 25. We talked about the 25 making that pick earlier. All of a sudden, here he is in 6th.
Yeah, he's having a great recovery of all the cautions and being able to get back on the lead lap. Things have really turned around for Seth right now.
28 lap advantage.
I'm going to tell you what. Scott Crump just made the pass for 9th. Jacob Adams is up to 8th, and we are wrecking Kyle Hanshaw. Oh, and the Leighton Norgard. Holy smoke. What the heck? The 30? What was that? I mean, what happened with the 30 to come in there as late as he did? Oh, something happens to the 46. He gets ran over. It looks like he's just going to start getting loose. Kyle does a great job driving through this right here. 34 doesn't really, not a whole lot of effort there to check up out of the 34, it doesn't look like.
No.
Oh, the 71's going to get involved again.
Poor Dave.
So now the 46 is spinning. He's on the apron. At this point, you're thinking, I'm not going to get hit. Like, we're going to be all right, some damage, but we're not going to get hit again. Well, here comes the Leighton Norgard. And now you're like, for sure we're done getting hit down here. Like, there's nobody left coming. What is the 30 doing? What?
I don't know.
I am baffled by this 30 car getting in this wreck.
Yeah.
Oh, he locked up the rears. He went to the brakes, locked up the rears, started sliding.
Oh, that's rough.
And I think a Leighton Norgard got sent.
Well, let's check it out. Let's see what happened to poor Leighton here. Does he get sent, and was it by Justin Wadsworth? It was. Come off of here, he sees the wreck, he checks up, Justin gets him. Justin also got hit by the 9, but that was after he had already hit the 12. So Seth is on fresher tires, right? In 5th.
Correct.
Jacob Adams also on fresher tires. Scott Crump on the freshest tires. I'm going to tell you what, if Scott wins this race, pitting when he did, what an absolute, I mean, he just sat him on the table and said, it's all in, baby. But right now the field is in the hands of the pace car, but it's about to be handed to Jonathan Cutlip, who's picked the bottom here. Green is out. Great start there for the 5.
Ooh.
86
Man,
trying to get to his outside.
He got super close to that wall too. I I don't think you could have put a piece of paper between the car and the wall. I was so.
Oh,
Oh.
wrecking in the back, maybe.
Oh.
Staying green.
Yeah, Dave
We're gonna stay
held on to
green.
it somehow.
Just 5 to go here. Scott Crump just got real sideways back there. That's going to end his shot to win this race without a lot more chaos.
Yeah, Seth got loose too.
But the good thing for Seth is he's going to restart on row 2 if we get another caution, but it's going to take at least one more caution for Seth.
Oh, Hossack.
3 to go.
And there it is.
There it is. All of a sudden, Seth is the guy on offense. 24. Round here on the front stretch. And then we're going to get into green-white checkers right here. Oh, just loose off of turn 4.
Got the apron a little.
David Carpenter coming to pit road. We saw that coulda, woulda, shoulda, almost was a caution. I'm not going to lie, boys. I know we don't have favorites up here. We like everybody equally. But if Seth could win this thing after getting lapped and overcoming what he had to overcome, it'd be a pretty cool story.
I agree.
Jacob Adams was also a lap down. That'd be a pretty cool story. I just think Jake's too far. I think it's... I mean, unless there's like just total... You know, we saw Jeff Gordon restart 6th one time at Pocono and take the lead 300 yards after the line and win the race. So, I mean, anything can happen.
Jake's on equal tires. He came in lap 1.
It's still been a great recovery. And I think Gerald's going to want to meet with a bunch of drivers after this race is over. Gerald's still out here talking about how much he loves everybody who he's racing with right now.
Yep.
He's going to have a long line of people he wants to talk to after this race. He just wants to give them all hugs.
I wouldn't take much solace in another driver telling you, I got into you because I had damage. And
Yeah, and it all depends on the night, too. Like I said, Gerald was having the best run he's had probably all season. You know, and so that just... It's one thing to get caught up in something or to get wrecked by somebody when you're running 15th, but it's another thing when you're... You know, I mean, I feel like Gerald had as good a shot to win as anybody in the front 4 or 5. So that's why he's just a little bit more loving and caring right now. But needless to say, we're going to have a green-white checkered. The 5 picked the bottom. Green is out. Seth did not get a great restart. Oh, it took us around the 90s around.
Because of it.
Oh, big junk here.
Ay, Dios mío.
Seth gets a bad start. 19 gets checked up. The 68 gets hit by somebody. Then they
26.
go down. He clips the 90. Oh, man. Restart wrecks at Bristol. This is how they happen. Just a big jam up. 26 is way up there already. I'm gonna show you right here the difference between the 26 and the 11. The 11 is a great driver, a veteran of this series. And did you see the gap he had left there to give himself an out if something like this happened? The 26, I'm not saying he's a bad driver, but you have got to be ready to anticipate something happening. When you restart right up on somebody's tail like that, without leaving like a half a car length or so, and there's a jam up, there's nothing you can do to avoid it. The 11 gave himself an out, missed the wreck, didn't touch a thing. And it's not, he's not so much laying back. I know some people are going to look at that and say, oh, he's, so laying back's the call. Like, no, half a car length is not laying back. And it's not laying back if you're not trying to use it as an advantage. It'd be different if he took off from a car length back, got a running start, and went 3 wide into the first turn and made progress out of it. But he just laid back, gave himself a little bit of room for this exact scenario. Because he's seen it before. It's a green-white checkered in elite. We all kind of figure at some point, there's more often than not, there's restart crashes. Great job, Matthew Weeks. A+. Tyler Froede, unfortunately, 4 laps down, getting involved in this wreck. I think Tyler's ready to get out of Bristol.
I think a lot of people are ready to get out of Bristol.
And unfortunately, the 90 chose to come to pit road, get those tires, try to jump on offense, and that's what we talked about. Getting caught up in a wreck. Now, albeit I thought it was going to happen before he got as far forward as he did, but it happened nonetheless.
Yeah, but you got to do something. You're looking for the win. You got to throw the Hail Mary. So it did not work out, but I can't hate the call.
I feel like it's hard to give up a spot on the second row, but pace car's off. Cutlip taking the bottom again. Green is out. Great start for the bottom. He gets clear of the 86. Does he pull up? He does. That's going to open the door for the 20. I think you'd rather be on the outside side by side than the inside side by side, unless that guy on the inside just wants to use you up. Then we're talking a little different. Oh, the 86 gets too high, jumps the cushion. White flag. 20's trying to get to the right rear of the 5. Can he do it? Not quite yet. Do we see the bumper in play here? We do not. The 20's going to race him clean. The 86 is sideways. It's going to be Cutlip with the win here in Bristol. Cutlip, Gavin Higgins, Blake Reynolds, Gavin Hibbs, Seth Rawls, Jacob Adams, Brandon Wilkinson, Matthew Weeks, Gerald Campbell rebounds to 9th, Joe Francis 10th. And kudos to Justin Wadsworth getting back to 11th. He was off pace with a bunch of damage most of this race. Jaden Racimus, JP Phillips, David Tooker, Scott Crump ended up 14th and 15th. I'll tell you what, I think if you set out to survive, a lot of guys failed that task tonight.
Yeah. But once again, obligatory, that's just Bristol, baby. Races here always seem to turn into this for the most part. So it's hard to survive when you're just having to dodge a whole lot of calamity in areas where you might not even expect it. So yeah, that's just how it goes sometimes,
Well, here's what I do know. We are going to sneak in a quick commercial break. When we come back, we will have first, second, and third place finishers from the survival of Bristol tonight. Kind of looked like Twisted Metal out here, so we're going to get in a break, and when we come back, we'll have our race winner and our podium finishers.
Now let's hear about Blue Egg Marketing. Rev up your business with Blue Egg, your marketing pick-me. Turbocharge your lead generation with experienced drivers that can navigate the competitive track to connecting with your customers. With Blue Egg, you're always in the pole position, leading your brand toward victory lane. Don't spin your wheels, accelerate success with Blue Egg, fueling small businesses to win big.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And welcome back to Bristol, where we have just finished the survival of Bristol. And I'm only seeing 2 guys down here, so I think we're going to go ahead and bring up second place Gavin Higgins, and I believe he's standing by with James Watson.
Gavin, James in the booth. You got a copy?
Yep.
Well, that was a crazy race. First of all, gotta talk about the finish. It was a fantastic battle there for the win between you and Cutlip on the green-white checkers. Were you at all thinking of maybe giving him a little bit of the chrome horn?
No, I mean, we usually race each other pretty clean when we're by each other, but I got stuck behind Crump. He kept on hitting the wall in the straightaway, and then I think I got shuffled back to about 6th, so I was just trying to work my way up and keep on getting good restarts.
Yeah, and good restarts was definitely the name of the game. You were getting some pretty good jumps there. It's not easy getting a good jump on the front row when you're not the control car. Take us through that and how you were able to keep up.
I mean, just good timing. I mean, if I usually start on the bottom going into 1, I usually roll 1 and 2 real good and hope I'm clear to get up and run the high side in 3 and 4.
Yeah, and take us through dealing with the lap traffic and all the chaos. Obviously, we saw a lot of incidents and a lot of things to avoid out there. What's it like at Bristol when you know that it's going to be definitely one of those Bristol races and you just have to keep your wits about you?
Well, it's terrifying, but when we had that long run, we were passing a bunch of lap cars. I think there was a group of them that I got stuck behind, and I think it was either Took or Crump was able to pull away from me there a little bit, but it was just knowing who you're racing by, and you just got to be smart.
Alrighty, well, that was a fantastic job tonight. Any sponsors, plugs, and shout-outs you'd like to give?
No sponsors. I'm shout out Jay for racing with me, you guys for doing this, Chad for putting all this on, and Neighbor Pete, my mom, dad, brother, sister, my grandparents, and yeah.
Alrighty, well, we appreciate you, Gavin, and hopefully we're talking to you again next week.
Thanks.
And I am standing by now with Blake Reynolds. Blake, you finished 3rd. You were up there in the thick of that battle there, that last 50 laps. We didn't talk about you a whole lot before that. Talk to us about your night and how you managed to survive all the chaos tonight.
Yeah, it was a fun time. I love Bristol, and it's crazy. We could do 84 laps in just hour 10, hour 15, whatever that was. So that's pretty cool. And if it had gone green, I think under an hour. Yeah, I showed up late-ish. I literally loaded in the server as qualifying switched over. I didn't get a single practice lap. I just threw. I think I put 64 brake bias. It was at 65, and I left everything the same. And that ended up being a little loose. I got a little loose, and people. I didn't really pass a whole lot of people tonight. They just kind of wrecked out of my way, and I ended up at the front. And once I got up to the front, man, I had an awesome battle with Scott Crump and Gavin Higgins. That was awesome when I was taking the lead, and me and Crump threw sliders on each other, and then I slid real hard at it too. This new Bristol, this is my first time trying it, and the grip's a lot different up top. So obviously I have some work to do there. I wasn't expecting to slide once I got us, slid on. So yeah, super fun. Your adrenaline gets up when you race Bristol. Everything happens so fast. So I feel like I'm on top of the world. I feel like I could run a marathon right now.
Well, I don't think anybody wants to run a marathon. I don't know if you want to run a marathon right now, but it
No,
was
but I
a
will do
crazy race.
10,000 steps after this, probably. I don't know.
It was a crazy race. You mentioned like you didn't really have to pass anybody. Everybody wrecked out of your way. I mean, so you were well aware of, the bulk of the field just crashing out in these big pack style accidents.
Yeah, I think, this track, stuff happens fast. So people, you get behind on your steering, you're braking, a throttle. Then, it's all, your race is out the window, your car's out of control. So I think some people maybe weren't prepared for a Bristol race. I feel like, I need like an hour of practice to properly get in it. And that's pretty much when I showed up at the front was, about 45 minutes in. So, yep, that's how I prepared for Bristol, and I got speed. And yeah, then at the end, just the restarts. And Seth Rawls was on newer tires, and I think Gerald was too. So I was holding on, and I really didn't have much tire left. I was using it all. Like I was sliding out of every corner to try to get a run on John, and I just couldn't do anything. It's nighttime. We're at our grip limit, so can't really do much when it gets like that at the end. But yeah, I got passed by Gavin on the bottom. I wasn't expecting the bottom to come in, actually, and it ended up coming in. So unfortunate. I got P3 still. Yeah. And it was a good night for the brand new Drink Machine Works Toyota Supra. Shout out to Track Racer and Channel 199 Racecraft also. And yeah, good run, good show for the team.
Well, listen to this guy. It's like he's a pro or something. I was getting ready to ask him about some sponsors, and then he hit them all up.
They teach me. I went to NASCAR Media Day, and they gave us a media course. I know how it's done. I also know how to drink a sip of Coke whenever I have the opportunity. They did teach us that.
Well, alrighty, Blake. Congrats on the run. Can't wait to see what you are able to give us moving forward here. And I believe this is the first time I've gotten an interview. I might be wrong. Sometimes I just forget things. But maybe we'll be talking to you some more later this season. Maybe even in Victory Lane.
Well, you'll see me on Wednesday. Dave, where are we going on Wednesday? I don't even know.
Where do we go Wednesday? Good question. Waiting for it to come around. It's going to be around in a second. There it is. Atlanta Legacy. Old Atlanta.
Good track. However, I'm kind of bad at it.
No.
So we'll see.
September 17th, we are off this week.
Oh, even better. Maybe I'll go have a fun night. Somewhere. Thank y'all. Appreciate it. Appreciate the league and everything for the opportunity. And I love some short track racing.
Well, there it is, boys. That's Blake Reynolds. He's ready to run another one of these. Line them up. Do them again. Let's do them again with the cars everybody just finished this race with. I think that'd be exciting. Well, now here's a guy that I know I've talked to, and I've talked to him quite a bit, and that is Jonathan Cutlip. John, you kind of sat there that 5th to 10th all night long, maybe even made a little bit of contact. I know it was netcode a little bit at times, but there was a lot of love going around there towards the end between you and some other drivers, maybe one in particular. But talk to us about your night, how you managed to avoid all the big chaos, because we also saw those big pack accident style wrecks out here, and find your way to victory lane.
Yeah, first off, I have to apologize to Gerald Campbell. I didn't get to see the replay yet. I kind of have a sense of like what happened. It felt like we kind of just ended up in the same space in the corner, because it tends to happen here a lot at Bristol, and when we made contact, it just immediately shot him into the wall, so I apologize for that. But yeah, our race was pretty hectic. I didn't get a good qualifying lap, so it started about P12, I think. And yeah, it was pretty interesting from the get-go, because there were a few crashes immediately in the front, and luckily I had one of my close friends, David Ticker, he caught him out immediately, and I could react a little bit earlier than everyone else around me and was able to navigate through it. But yeah, I was just trying to hang around on my tires, and I knew if we went long that the speed was going to flip, because the track usually tears up tires, and we were looking good for one stint and made our way up to about 4th, I believe, and a caution came out, and luckily we had track position at that point, and just were able to pick them off just pretty quick there at the end.
Yeah, and you mentioned picking them off there at the end. Did you ever think at the end that you might get the bumper? 20 was in a good spot there in the 3 and 4, and I know you're a smart driver and you were thinking that as well. Did you think you were going to get a little bit of a bumper tag, or did you know he was going to race you clean?
I mean, you have to prepare yourself for it. He raced really clean. He could have moved me up out of the way, and it just would be one of those short track deals. But yeah, I have to tip my cap to Gavin. He raced me clean, and I respect him for that. We've raced each other a little bit before, and we've always had solid battles. So, yeah, it was a thought, but I didn't think he would actually do it. So, and I usually would avoid that as well. So, like I said, massive respect to him for that. But yeah, late race was getting a little sketchier. The amount of restarts that we were getting, Blake and the people behind me were starting to time it pretty well. So it was one of those things where I was just hoping the race would hurry up and finish because I wasn't sure how many more times I was going to be able to get a good restart.
Yeah, and you mentioned all that. You talked about everything. We've talked to you quite a bit, so I'm just going to let you go ahead and talk about your sponsors, who else you get to track week in, week out, and start preparing for, I guess, the next race we're going to have out is Darlington here in a couple weeks.
Yeah, that'll be a fun race. Shout out to Race CPI, Racecraft, Channel 199, my team over here. Shout out to Loop Internet. Shout out to you guys over here in Elite, Dave, Chris, and James. I hope you guys enjoyed watching and calling the race. I think we had a pretty good night as a team. Blake finished third. He was really quick tonight, as he always is. Fortunately, Wadsworth got caught in an early crash, and as well as Mikolajic. Shout out to my mom. She's super supportive. She tunes in weekly and nightly as we put these races on. So I think that covers everyone.
Tell you what, it sure sounds like it covered everyone. So congrats to you, John. Can't wait to see you in a couple weeks' time at Darlington, a place where I know you're always fast, always ready to go. So we expect to be talking to you there in a couple weeks' time.
Yeah, hopefully we can make it 3 in a row.
There it is, 3 in a row going to Darlington. I think I'm going to go ahead and call it. I think Jonathan's going to be my pick here in 2 weeks, guys. I'm taking him off the board already. Well, guys, we had a crazy race, lots of wrecks early. We had that green flag run right in the middle, though, that lasted quite a while, and then it got crazy at the end. So any final thoughts from you guys tonight?
Yeah, it was definitely one of the Bristol races to have ever Bristol, but as chaotic as it can be, it always is a fun in a guilty pleasure sort of way to watch these races and call these races. Bristol's always easy for us broadcasters because there's always something to talk about. You don't get spread out. You don't have to make up stuff to talk about or just comment on random things. So yeah, it was fun to be a part of, and I'm sure people watching at home had fun watching it as well.
And how about you, Dave? Any final thoughts from you over there?
No, I kind of agree with James. It was what you expected to be. I kind of wanted it to be something different, but Bristol always is what it is, so fun.
Yeah, it was fun, and I guess we're just going to wrap it up real quick here and get ready for Darlington in a couple weeks' time. But I just want to thank all our sponsors. I know we talked about Mark a good bit tonight, but he's got his pictures. He's been doing some storm chasing. He's everywhere. If you follow Mark on Twitter, he's everywhere. He's taking pictures. He's taking pictures out here on the sim. That's why he gets in some of these wrecks. Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, Mark's a great driver. He gets in some of these wrecks, so he's trying to take some pictures. Shout out to everybody at Elite. I know we just had that big event at the Sim Racing Expo, and I believe, Dave, you helped set a lot of that up, helped coordinate a lot of that effort. Chad let it all happen as well. Everybody who was a part of that. Yeah, James, everybody who was a part of that was really cool to get to see all the stuff that went on. So shout out to everybody who made that happen. Of course, Chad for all he does here at Elite, and he comes out here and, we make fun of him, but we know he can take it. We give him a hard time. We're not ragging on anybody that can't take it and knows that we're not being all serious and everything. It's a fun-loving crowd most of the time.
If we didn't like him,
But-
we'd ignore him.
But shout
Why
out to
not
you,
show up?
Dave, for everything you're doing here at ERN. I know it was a scramble tonight getting this thing going, and then I had my crash, and so everything that happened leading up to that all these people watching didn't see. And shout out to you, James, for being up here with me on these Monday nights. So thanks to you guys. Thanks to everybody watching. That's going to do it for us here from Elite Racing Network. Tune in tomorrow for the 2003 series, Wednesday for the Cup Series.
Nope,
I don't know
off.
if there's an IndyCar race. We're off all week, the rest
Yep,
of the week.
This is build week, so we're pretty much off the rest of the week. Wednesday, Thursday,
Well,
Friday,
there it
and
is.
Sunday, all off this week. Saturday, we got the sports car series goes to Spa, 10 a.m.
Are you sure about that? Because it's showing the 03 Cup Series tomorrow.
Yeah, but after that, tomorrow is like
Okay.
after that Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday and Sunday we would have raced, but we're off. Saturday we're going to go ahead and race the sports cars
And that's at Spa, you said?
at Spa.
4 hours of
of
Spa?
Spa.
Well, there it is.
Rain is in the forecast.
Fantastic. Rain in the forecast is great. That's a great time. And I'm sure there are seats that are available. If you are watching and you want to come and race one of these race cars with us at Spa, come on out.
Absolutely.
Saturday. And we'll be back with you not next week, but in 2 weeks' time from Darlington. So thanks for tuning in, and we will see you at Darlington.